From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story, a 58-year-old fugitive is housed in federal custody at the Fbx Correctional Center at this hour on a no-bail status for alleged crimes said to have taken place in the state of Michigan.
Joel Howard James was arrested at his place of employment Wednesday by U.S. Marshals. James made his initial court appearance in Fairbanks District Court this afternoon. According to court records, James was wanted in Alpena County, Michigan, for the alleged crime of accosting children for immoral purposes. Bail on the warrant was set at $250,000 after authorities say James fled the jurisdiction. Court records say James was arrested while working at Alyeska Pipeline Service Company here in Fairbanks. According to U.S. Marshal Gilbert Morales, James was identified by a photograph by his Alaska driver's license and through his work supervisor. During court proceedings, James took issue with District Court Master Alice Mary Raisley and his current state of affairs.
I'm here to know that I'm not guilty of nothing.
Okay, so Mr. James, that's not what we do here today. Right now, I'm holding you on a no bail status. Okay, so it's going to be no bail.
I'm assumed innocent. Is this what you do to innocent people?
Sir, you're not charged in Alaska. There's nothing I can do for you here today.
I'm not.
Okay, sir, we're done.
You do, what am I doing here?
We're done.
Joel Howard James will remain in jail awaiting extradition back to Michigan in order to face charges against him. Next hearings in the case here in Fairbanks are set for September 6th.
During a scheduled hearing this morning, a 48-year-old Fairbanks man struck a plea deal in a rural interior homicide case. Alfred Harold Woods pled guilty to a charge of manslaughter in the first degree. In exchange for the agreement with prosecutors, Woods will serve 10 years in jail. Sentencing in the case is set for December 12th. Woods had been accused of beating 68-year-old John Alexander in the Steese Highway community of Circle last January 12th. Alexander died about a month later after the incident took place. Woods originally had been charged with assault in the first degree, a charge that was later upgraded after Alexander died.
A combination of high pressure in the interior and low pressure in the Bering Sea has been kicking up strong winds. This is rekindling fires around the interior, plus the record heat, and little rain is not helping the situation. The past several days, the interior has seen more smoke. A spokesperson for the Alaska Fire Service says it's hard to say where the smoke is coming from because there are a lot of fires and a lot of wind. They say the smoke will hang around as the high winds continue into Saturday night.
Things are still dry. The temperature is high. We're not seeing a lot of precipitation, and then there's the winds. So we just want to ask people to be careful still. Folks are doing a pretty decent job. We ask them to continue to do that, and hopefully we will get past this period soon.
Last night, the Borough Assembly voted to put a school bond package on the ballot for the October municipal election. The first proposition aims to build an addition to Ryan Middle School, and the second aims to renovate schools around the district. The package is $56 million, and the state has agreed to reimburse about 60% of the cost. Superintendent Pete Lewis says the population of Fort Wainwright could grow, putting pressure on the school district. He says it's prudent to plan ahead and expand the capacity of Ryan Middle. Before the vote, the school district will send out information to explain the benefits and costs of each proposition.
All right, well, it looks like it's pretty smoky out there, so, you know, it might be bad at the fair for everybody.
I don't know. Who knows? Well, Mike
You know
knows.
who knows.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike knows.
joins us now with our first look at weather. Mike.
Hey guys, I'd like to say it's a beautiful day at the fair, but of course our story talking about the smoke and everything, we've had smoke all day long, but the good news is, and our engineer pointed out, you can start to see the sky up there now. We're getting some blue sky, and of course the aromas are wonderful here. There's plenty of parking. I saw about 3 rows open, so there's plenty of opportunity to come out and enjoy yourself. Went on the Midway last night, had a great time with my grandkids. Played all types of games and everything, so lots of things to do. And we will be talking more with a guest right after, well, actually, after we get through with our B block. So we'll be back with that in just a little bit. We'll see you back there then.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Now, when we come back, we have more on the prison disturbance in Seward.
Also, Mike is going to join us again live for his last broadcast from the fair, so stick around. Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. A disturbance at Seward's Spring Creek Correctional Center this week began when inmates were ordered to make beds and clean rooms. Officials say just one officer was on duty in the 32-man unit. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has more in this report.
Correctional Officer Randy McClellan says working as a guard in Alaska right now is difficult to do because staffing is at a critical point. He says an example is what happened Monday at Spring Creek.
One even, I think, tried to escape through his window and suffered cuts to his chest, and at least 4 inmates needed medical attention, stitches.
McClellan says the staff shortage leaves officers with no backup.
Every time you risk the security and the safety of that facility, you run the risk of somebody escaping and hurting a member of the public, or that mother or father or daughter that works in the facility getting injured or killed.
The Division of Institutions says they are meeting the requirements to run a safe and efficient facility.
How many posts are needed to run the facility during that shift safely and effectively? And so that changes, between days and nights. Less stuff going on at nights, more stuff during the days.
At the Anchorage Correctional Center, there is one guard for about every 27 inmates.
The more officers you remove and the more inmates you crowd in, we're risking everybody's safety. It's not just the officers, it's everybody.
So it's unfortunate that they are saying, giving out that kind of information or supporting that sort of conclusion. That certainly isn't the case. We are adequately staffed in all of our facilities.
Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
With all the heat we've been having, it is definitely taking its toll on our lawns. Tonight's Garden Report deals with how you can make it greener.
Hi, I'm Shelley Bear from the University of Alaska with your weekly garden tip. Today I want to talk about making your lawn look beautiful. If you're one of those Fairbanksians that has adequate water and can water once a week, you might have a really beautiful lawn like some of these here. A beautiful lawn takes weekly deep watering, and you want to make sure you get at least 1 inch of water on your lawn and do it just once a week deeply. And then fertilize. This time of year, I like to think about what does my grass need to get into the fall? And that would be a high nitrogen fertilizer. We have lots of warm weather going on. The grass should be growing good. You want to get that nitrogen to it and apply it at least once a month. That nitrogen will give you that dark green leafy color that you're looking for and make that turf be very thick. And that'll actually help take the weeds out of your lawn. And then think about mulch mowing. I'm always talking about mulch mowing, but it is the thing for a better lawn that has less fertilizer application needs and will look a lot lusher, and the weeds will be better controlled. So mulch mow at least once a week or twice a week, and keep it at a good height around 2.5 to 3 inches tall. Now, some of us have had horrible lawns, so please join us next week when I'm going to be renovating my lawn, which is really looking terrible this year. This has been Shelley Bear with your weekly garden tip. Please join us next week when we'll have more ideas for making your yard beautiful.
Gardening tips brought to you by Fairbanks Stump Grinders.
So that must look pretty familiar to you, huh,
Yeah,
Daryl?
I got a confession to make. That was my lawn out there. And,
High five for green.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
Job. Mine
she
is
fertilized it and she cut it. That was fantastic. Don't have to
You
worry
know,
about it.
my lawn is probably the lawn she's going to talk about next week, the one that's terrible.
Right.
I do not have a green thumb.
It took me 3-4 years to get it that green, so it was definitely a lot of work going into that. A lot of money, too.
It is. And, you know, she has really given us such great tips this year for gardening and everything. I mean, that coupled with our barbecue report, we've just got a lot going on.
Right, absolutely.
So, all right, speaking of a lot going on, Mike Schultz has a lot going on in his last night broadcasting. So, Mike.
Where'd he go?
Where are you at?
Well, I had a guy here to talk to. I don't know where he went to. He's the one that takes care of all the kids' shows and everything. But I can tell you one thing he was excited about is Sunday, there's going to be a man here called Noki Edwards, I think is his name. He's a rock and roll Hall of Famer. He'll be putting on a show Sunday, and that's going to be really fun. Obviously, Sunday is the big day because all the things are closing down. You're getting really good discounts and good deals. But, of course, the fireworks will be going off at 11 o'clock in the evening, too, so we'll be looking forward to that. Up until then, we've got a lot of things happening tomorrow. And, of course, tonight we have the continuation of the Dancing for Stars. And our own Joe Cook is in there competing. and all the money is going for a good cause. It's going to help the kids at the Lathrop ballroom dancing, so we'll look forward to that. And maybe we'll have some video of Joe at the end of the newscast too. That's good. But the good news is, like I said, it's clearing up. There's no reason not to come out and enjoy all the great things here at the fair. And of course, we have lots of great food and a lot of fun things to do and a lot of good shows too. We heard all about that all last night. We'll look forward to that, and we'll look forward to doing some weather for you later on. But coming up next, of course, it's our own Joe Cook with sports after these words.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this evening. Time to get this weekend started right with some sports. Well, the races at North Pole Speedway were a bit dirty last night. There were a number of cautions out because of some wreckage. Every race had a car or two with some mishaps or collisions. In the first turn of the first Legends heat, Ryan Cody in the 89 car and Dave Baling, the points leader, get tangled up. After the race, Baling told me he felt he held his line and didn't see Cody underneath. He just felt the car getting turned. In the Bandos second heat, Steve Hunter, he spins out, gets in contact with Whitney Parzik. He would not finish the main event, but he did win the second heat. Jessica King won the first heat, and Justin Salmon stayed clean for the main event checkered flag. Bill Sladen came out the winner in the second heat of the Legends despite more mishaps. In the main event, Gary Childers in the 45, he takes out Rod Harker right into the wall out of turn 3. Harker's night will be done. He lost a tire in that collision. Then after the Harker collision, Childers had a collision. Al Treadle reacts from behind with a slight edge. He was spin out, and it was just a nasty night there on the track. Bailey once again, however, comes out with the main event checkered flag. A very eventful night of racing, to say the least. Some of the racers talked about all of the accidents.
No, we were just racing close together, going through 3 and 4, and just touched. We touched, and it was just went ugly after that.
I think we had a slightly different line, and I felt I was coming out of the corner, more than he was, and he was trying to pinch it down to get behind whoever was in front of him, Al, I think.
It was a little bit of rough racing there. It was a combination of me being loose and him pushing a little bit. It was rough racing. Keep the car off of other cars and off the wall. Keep it clean. Try to race as clean as possible. These last few weeks, track position's what's going to matter.
Now we take a look at the point standings. Justin Salmons looks to close out the season on top of the Bandos class with a 114-point lead over Stephen Hunter, who looks to maintain that second spot in the Legends. All Dave Baling has to do is finish races, and he could finish on top of the Legends class, but his 206-point lead has dwindled a bit to 98. Al Treadle is second with 3,086 points, but he's only 3 points ahead of Daniel Sladen, who was third. Despite the crashes last night, Sladen is still in 4th place, but rookie Austin Cody's just 3 points behind while holding on to 5th place. There are 3 races left in the season. The finale is August 29th. There were a number of soccer teams representing the interior in the Alaska State Youth Cup in Anchorage. Some are even undefeated. Both 15 and under girls and boys teams and 13 and under girls and boys teams have yet to lose a game. The Eclipse 99-15U girls team defeated Alaska Rush Black 3-2 yesterday. They now have a 3-0 record. The Phoenix 99-15U boys squad rolled over the Chugiat Soccer Club for 11-0 win. Phoenix 99 is also 3-0 for the 13U girls. Eclipse 02, they have back-to-back wins after a 3-0 shutout over Valley Revolution. And the Phoenix 02 boys 13U team held on for a 1-0 victory against the Cook Inlet Soccer Club. The pool play finals are today. The 6-day tournament wraps up on Sunday. And one of the best shooters for the Nannet Rifle program will return as a new assistant coach. Late yesterday, UAF Rifle announced the hiring of Ryan Baum. Baum, who was on the right side of current head coach Dan Jordan in this archive team photo, transferred to the Rifle team from West Virginia back in 2004. As a senior, Baum was co-captain MVP as the Nannets won the NCAA titles in 2004, 2005, and 2007. Recently, Baum has been a part of the Alaska Department of Fish and Game as a firearm instructor. He's been doing that for the past 3 years. Last season, the Nannets finished 4th in the nation. They start their season in October on the 11th against NC State and Ole Miss. Finally, here's on tap for sports in the interior this weekend. Tomorrow morning, start at 9 a.m. is the Interior Football Jamboree at Lathrop High School. All interior football teams will be facing one another in 30-minute scrimmages. In the Alaska State Amateur Golf Tournament, that continues on Chena Bend Golf Course. Tee times start at 8 a.m. Adam Baxter today roared back with a 71. He's now tied for the lead, and Terry McAngus still holds the lead for the women's championship. Also, the Alaska International Senior Games will have its opening day of competition tomorrow with racquetball at the Alaska Club at 9 a.m. and horseshoes at the Terry Miller Park in North Pole starting at 9:30. And the Alaska Statehood 5.4K runner walk will be starting at 10 a.m. at Pioneer Park on Saturday. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Your full weather forecast is coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back to the Tanana Valley Fair, everyone. Mike Schultz with you once again, broadcasting live and direct. And we should be playing the Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun. Just a little while ago, we had some beautiful sunshine out here. The good news is, like I said, the skies are clearing, which is good news. The bad news is we have an air quality alert going on until Monday. In fact, let's take a look at our latest advisory and show you what's happening there. And again, this air quality alert is good until Monday at 10 a.m. Unhealthy for sensitive groups. People or children with respiratory problems should limit their outdoor activities, so keep that in mind. But things are looking a lot better because the wind flow is going to be coming out of the best direction to blow all this smoke out of here, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Speaking of weather, let's go ahead and take a look at our numbers for this date. The almanac page will be showing us that our normal high is 68, normal low 49, record high 87 in 1917, record low 35 in 1969. Your sunrise and sunset, well, that works out to 17 hours and 5 minutes of daylight, a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday. Got a better look at the overall situation going on across the state today. As you can see, more moisture south of the Alaska Range. Most of that's going to stay there, but a little bit of it might work its way across tomorrow afternoon, giving us a chance of showers, but all in all, not too bad. What's going on across the rest of the state? Again, you can see here we're looking at showers around the Anchorage Bowl. It's been showering all day there. Showers also across parts of the interior, but south of the Alaska Range. And then little clouds and fog up on the North Slope, only 41 degrees at Barrow. Fort Yukon 73. Lower 48 weather, again, the key word, hot temperatures. In fact, once again, Dallas 102 degrees, strong and warm temperatures out over the southwest part of the country, 95 degrees at Salt Lake City. Showers and thunderstorms again across the deep south. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar and show you that we are looking again at a lot of moisture moving across the Central Plains and up the eastern slopes of the eastern side of the country. We have a lot of moisture moving across the eastern slopes of the Rockies, also forming thunderstorms there. What lies ahead? Well, the overall outlook for early next week, the jet stream, once again, a big bubble, bringing more warm air across much of the western half of the country and drenching and sticky conditions across much of the eastern half of the country. All right, back to Alaska for tomorrow. In the northern sections, showers expected in Barrow and Nome, mostly sunny skies with some smoke again in the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, going to have to put up with that pesky smoke once again. Temperatures not nearly as warm, 70 degrees for the high in Fairbanks. Maybe some showers in the afternoon also especially around the Healy area. Over southeast Alaska, again, decreasing clouds across the region and temperatures warming up nicely, 74 degrees at Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, same thing it's always been for the last few days. Widespread rainfall for Cold Bay and Bethel, showers at Kodiak, and over south central regions around the Anchorage Bowl. Again, looking at heavy rain in Valdez, showers for Anchorage and Homer. All right, here's our forecast for tonight as the music kicks back up again. Again, we're looking for the overnight low of 51 degrees with continued areas of smoke. Tomorrow's forecast, not too bad. We'll look at cloudy skies and smoky with a few rain showers, 70 degrees. And the extended forecast, again, looking at temperatures around the low to mid 70s each day. Showers a better possibility for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And look at that overnight low, 501 degrees. That's a pretty darn warm overnight low. That's our weather for tonight. Hope you have a great weekend, everyone. Hope to see you out here Sunday for the fireworks. Back to you guys.
That's hilarious. 501 degrees. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mike. All right, we've run out of time, so that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us. But tonight on NBC Nightly News, the president promises reforms to the government surveillance programs. That's next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime, webcenter11.com.
And for me, Mike out there at the fair, Daryl and Stephanie, have a good night. We'll see you here at 11.